you very much. Namaskar to everybody. Honorable Minister, thank you very much for honoring us with your presence here, and welcome to the Subregional Conference, Going Beyond the Meter, Inclusive Energy Solutions in South Asia. As we were discussing before, we intentionally selected a reference to the word meter, which is a device measuring the amount of electricity consumed to symbolize the static and sometimes purely quantitative approach which defines energy access. And we just expose it with the action-oriented word going beyond to simply emphasize our commitment to move beyond the meter and engage as a community of practice in identifying sustainable, socially and gender inclusive solutions to improve access to energy resources, services and technologies. We are very honored by your presence today, Honorable Minister, and by holding the conference in the Sun State of Rajasthan, which is a state very dear to us. We were able to mobilize beyond the ADP staff, representatives from government of South Asia, from civil society organizations, a partner with the ADP, and the private sector. It's a very selected group of around 120 practitioners. We're also very pleased to bring with us a powerful representative of the developing partners, in particular the Energia, which is the only gender and energy network global, the University of Melbourne School of Engineering, and the Society on Social Implication of Technology, also known as SSIT, of the Institute of Electronic and Electrical Engineers, and the UN Women, which with its presence also emphasizes the gender-related aspects of the conference. With that, we would like to invite the Honorable Minister, Principal Secretary Sanjana Malhotra, County Director Teresa Ko, and Anthony Jude, our Director of Energy, to please sit, and I will ask Teresa Ko to kindly come to the podium. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's Subregional Conference, Going Beyond the Meter, Inclusive Energy Solutions in South Asia. I would like to first thank the government of Rajasthan for agreeing to host this conference. As you know, Rajasthan is a renewable energy-rich state, and several initiatives are underway both at the center and at the state to harness the state's huge potential in renewable energy. There could not have been a better venue to hold this sub-regional conference. Ladies and gentlemen, ensuring access to affordable, reliable, and sustainable energy is one of the 17 global goals that make up the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. This will mean investing in clean energy sources, particularly solar and wind. Between 1990 and 2010, the number of people with access to electricity has increased by 1.7 billion. However, there is still a long way to go. There are still more than 1 billion people without access to electricity around the world. And unfortunately, many of the energy poor are still to be found in rural areas of South Asia. The majority of the poor in the region, including most of the absolute poor, are women. Women comprise the largest group among those excluded from the benefits of the region's economic expansion. If Asia, as a whole, were to move to a higher level of economic development by 2020, electricity access for all will be a key component. In India, women suffer more than men from energy scarcity and related environmental degradation. They are required to spend more time on household activities, for example, cooking, which you saw earlier on the video. And this leaves no time for income-generating activities. They also have to suffer negative health impacts when they use traditional cooking methods, such as wood or charcoal. If we improve access to energy, it has the additional potential to create livelihoods for women at all levels. Let me give an example of an ADB-supported project where access to energy has allowed women to run small businesses from home, creating livelihood for thousands of women. Under the Madhya Pradesh Energy Efficiency Improvement Investment Program, more than 20,000 women were provided integrated enterprise management training to gain access to energy-based, income-generating business opportunities. In Rajasthan, ADB is supporting the state government under the ongoing Rajasthan Renewable Energy Transmission Investment Program. The program provides loan to fund transmission and evacuation of power from solar and wind parks. And in addition, grant assistance is being provided to support the government to address energy access solutions that will benefit women. For example, there is a provision for skills training that will benefit women for community-based activities, and this may include animal husbandry and other livelihood opportunities to take advantage of improved access to electricity. I would like to congratulate the state government for coming up with a unique model where solar developers will be required to fund community-related activities. Now, let me briefly highlight some of the major objectives of this conference. First, the focus of the conference will be on exchanging ideas and learning from diverse experiences that have benefited local communities through inclusive energy sector policies. Second, it will be a platform, and it can provide a platform, I should say, to share good practices and workable solutions with key decision makers and state ministries who are participating in the conference. And finally, it will be a learning experience for project directors and staff of executing and implementing agencies associated with ADB projects on the useful approaches of gender and social equity considerations in the energy sector. Let me also join Francesco in extending a warm welcome and a special welcome to our conference partners, UN Women, Energia International Network on Gender and Sustainable Energy, the University of Melbourne School of Engineering, IEEE Society on Social Implications of Technology. And I also welcome our partners, government and executing agencies, as well as implementing agencies from Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. I wish all of you a fruitful deliberation and a happy stay in Jaipur. Welcome again.
Good morning, everyone. Honorable Minister of State, Government of Rajasthan, the country director, and all the participants who have gathered here from various countries of the sub-region as well as from India. First of all, a very, very warm welcome to all of you to our state. It's indeed a privilege to have you all over here. And I'm very sure that the deliberations that will go on for these 2 days will be very useful, and we'll come out with some very good suggestions and recommendations. I would also like to thank the ADB for giving me this opportunity to be with you and to share our thoughts with you. Let me keep it very brief. The government of Rajasthan, I would like to mention over here, accords highest priority to energy, whether it is renewable or conventional energy. Our goal here in the state is to provide access to all our people. There are about 10 million households, more than 10 million households in the rural areas in our state, and I'm not sure if some of the participants from other countries be aware. Rajasthan, despite having the Rajasthan distribution companies, despite having financial issues, accords the highest priority to access of electricity to its citizens. And if we compare Rajasthan with other states in the country, you would find that despite not having so robust financials, government of Rajasthan has been able to provide electricity to more than 99% of its villages, which is higher than the national average. Similarly, if one looks at household electrification, over there, because of the unique problem of Rajasthan being a desert state and being sparsely populated, we are unable to take the grid over there, and so to all the places too, especially the far-flung areas in the Thar Desert. And so over there we are trying to use solutions like solar individual lighting systems. The government has in the last budget given a huge budget of about 1 billion rupees for providing access to electricity to its citizens. Similarly, even for the disadvantaged sections, for the BPL families, for the not so rich, to make electricity accessible, government is providing subsidies. Other than the cross subsidy, there is direct subsidy element also. And so in these ways, the government is providing, trying to do its bit to improve the access of electricity to various regions. We have already signed the 24/7 power for all document for those who are aware of the Government of India scheme, under which we plan to connect all our households within a period of 4 years with electricity. Of course, there is a big overlap between energy and gender, because gender, as just mentioned by the country director also, are disadvantaged. In many areas, they need the need for energy for them, whether it is cooking, whether it is safety, and even employment. It is in many of these areas, the women stand to gain much more than men, and so I'm very happy that we have a big mix. We have a great mix of people from these 6 countries, representing government, non-government, civil society, private sector. I'm told there are policymakers and academicians. I'm very sure that this conference will be a huge success. I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
So I would like to thank ADB to host this occasion in Jaipur, in the state of Rajasthan. I would welcome Mrs. Teresa, Mr. Sanjay Malhotra, Principal Secretary for Energy, Government of Rajasthan, Mr. Anthony Dew, Director, South Asia Energy Division, and all the other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a privilege for me to participate in the Subregional Conference on Energy Solutions in South Asia. As all we know, the per capita consumption of electricity is still the global parameter of measurement of development. Though Asia has made a commendable progress in minimizing the gap between the requirement and availability of electricity, but still we have a long way to go. In the process, the state of Rajasthan is trying its level best to enhance the installed capacity. The present installed capacity of the state is 17,283 megawatts, in which the share of the renewable energy is 5,267 megawatts, which includes 1,273 megawatts of solar sector, which is highest in the nation. Rajasthan is being the solar-rich state. We are proud to be having the highest installed capacity of solar energy. In the process of building the roadmap, ADB is running hand in hand with the state of Rajasthan by creating an infrastructure of renewable energy transmission network. We have 400 kV GSS in Batla, 400 kV GSS in Ramgarh, and associated lines are being constructed with the help of ADB. As my secretary, who has mentioned about the state, we've got approximately 93 lakh connections around the state, especially in the rural area. And out of which I would say we've got around 20 lakh connections which are BPL, below poverty line, where government gives them a subsidy. We give them electricity at the rate of 1 rupee 25 paise, and government gives us the cost subsidy from the government. We've got around 14 lakh agriculture connections. The consumption of agriculture electricity is like 44% of our total installed capacity. I think around the country it's the highest in the nation. Besides that, the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana, which has been just recently started by the central government. You could say our government TSP is the tribal subplan area, where CMS announced on priority, they're going to give connections to agriculture on priority, but if they're going to come with the 5 today, they're going to get the connections on the same day. So CMS announced in this budget, I think it's going to really help the tribal subplan area, which is like Baswara, Dungurpur, Udaipur, Pindwara, Abu Road, they are the tribal area where the people are still very small farmers with very small land they got, and the poverty out there is the high level of poverty out there. I think this is going to help them out there. We have done the FIP and SIP in our DISCOMs. This is a feeder innovation program and substation improvement programs in Rajasthan. This is the first time we've done it because a lot of tripping on the village. We used to give them electricity, a lot of tripping. So we have installed new poles where there were gaps. We've got the conductors tightened. If there are any pole conductors, we've changed the conductors. And last 1 year, we tried our best to decrease the level of tripping in the villages so we can give them good quality of electricity to the villages. Out of that, we've done today we give approximately 24 hours of electricity to the urban areas, and in the rural areas, we try to maintain 22 to 23 hours of electricity in every small village of Rajasthan. I think this is the highest in the nation. As the Secretary has just mentioned earlier, besides the financial losses for the DISCOMs, our Chief Minister, we have signed an MOU with 24/7, and we are maintaining 22 to 23 hours of electricity in the rural area, which is, I think, the best in the country, I suppose. And we have signed the Uday scheme recently with the central government, state government, and the DISCOMs, where I think we're going to reduce the losses in the coming years by more than 6,000 crores every year. We're going to, we have signed a distribution management and responsibility bill where we got a KPIs where the DISCOMs have to follow those KPIs to get the losses, reduce the losses by to a certain percentage. Where losses are approximately 30% losses are there, we have to reduce it by 3% every year. Where there is 20 and above, we have to reduce it to 20%. We have to change the meters on time. We have to change the agriculture sectors meters which are not running. We have to change them within time. And there's a lot of activities in this so that we can reduce the losses of the DISCOM. So we again to save energy, we have been distributing LED throughout the state, and approximately we have distributed more than 1.25 lakh of LED bulbs around the state, and it's a target of around 3 crores of LED bulbs throughout the state. We have already given off 1.2 lakh to 25 crores of LED bulbs just to save the energy also. We've been working on that. Our Chief Minister has announced to replace the energy efficient pump sets by the old pump sets which the agriculture farmers have. We are going to replace 10% every year the efficient energy pump set to save the energy, and inefficient fans will also be changed by the government, which the Chief Minister has recently announced. So I would really thank the ADB to invite me and my secretary to come into this in the seminar. So Lord, thank you very much.
Honorable Minister Pushpendra Singh, Mr. Sanjay Malhotra, Principal Secretary of Energy, Teresa Ko, Country Director, ladies and gentlemen. When ADB initially looked at financing for renewable energy support in Rajasthan in 2012-2013, the target was to reach about 8,000 megawatts of renewable energy. 3,900 was for solar and 4,100 for wind. by the end of 2017. Now, as we heard from the minister, they've already reached about 5,200 megawatts already. The government of Rajasthan has demonstrated its commitment to support clean energy by significantly scaling of solar to a target of 25,000 megawatt and has been moving towards this target. The role of Rajasthan is critical in achieving the national target for solar of 100,000 megawatt by 2022 and 250,000 by 2030. The commitment of the state and central government in terms of structuring contractual arrangement for procurement of solar power, developing large-scale projects, and building on Rajasthan's natural advantage is visible in the tariffs discovered through competitive bidding in the solar parks at Badla, where tariffs have dropped to 4.34 rupees or about 6 US cents per kilowatt hour for the 420 megawatt solar plant bidded out under phase 2 of the solar park projects. This has provided encouragement as people across India are now looking towards Rajasthan to lead by example in the solar sector. There also appears to be increasing focus with regard to rural areas, and in particular in the hamlets in Rajasthan, where electricity is needed not just for lighting purposes, but also creating an opportunity for the people in rural areas to generate income and to lift themselves out of poverty. I understand that the government of India has been working towards this in providing solutions through central and state governments' schemes. We at the ADB are also focused in supporting energy for all, and I would like to share with you 2 examples of the work we have been doing, of all things that we have done. I think just a couple of weeks ago, we just inaugurated in the Philippines in Romblon Island. It's one of the offshore islands where electricity is not provided. Most of it comes from diesel gensets, and diesel works intermittent when there's diesel supply. So most of the households are without electricity. Women have to walk several kilometers just to get water. Water is not available. So with this hybrid system that we worked with the Korea Energy Agency, we were able to convert the existing diesel sets with the solar PV and with lithium-ion batteries. Now they get far more reliable supply of power. They can also use the electricity to work in the marble factory that's nearby. The fishermen who used to dry the fish because they can't store the fish, they make it into dried fish. Now they can convert that fish by having the ice storage. There's an ice factory that they can build. They can store it there and they can export the fish. So that has added some additional income to the community. The other is in a couple of days, I think one of my colleagues will be, I think it's this week, within this week, we'll be inaugurating in the island of Rakhido in Maldives, a mini-grid system that will help the island reduce its dependence also on diesel, which is also shipped, which is also a challenge. And I think some of the examples here can also be used for, in the case of Rajasthan going forward, because Rajasthan also has similar challenges with the existing future mini-grids. We look forward to a partnership with the state while helping support to the development of large transmission lines and substations for solar parks, as well as addressing excess and availability concerns of the mini-grids. The agenda looks really interesting, and I hope we will all benefit from this 2 days of experience. And I'd like to thank Francesco and his colleagues for putting this workshop together, because I think it's very relevant, at least for me in the operations department. When we talk about projects, we always try to see how we can link this up with income generation opportunities for the last mile. And a couple of my staff are here, so at least at the end of the 2 days, I hope they take back something from it that they can use for the projects. Thank you.